Hi, this is Tara. Today let's study Sutra number 22. mṛdu-madhya-adhimātratvāt-tataḥ viśeṣaḥ. Mridu means mild, madhya is middle, adhimātra is intense, tataḥ is then, api is also, viśeṣaḥ is differentiation. So Maharishi Ved Vyasa says a further also differentiation by mild, middling and intense. So this is a continuation to Sutra number 21. In that he's already told us the 3 categories of the 9 types of yogis. Okay, and he says they are mild, middling and intense, and now each of those is also mild, middling and intense. So you have mildly intense, middling intense and intense intense, or mild mild, middling mild and intense mild. Okay, or mild middling, middling middling and intense middling. So the consciousness of, he says this also applies to consciousness of supremacy, can also be, which is desirelessness. What is consciousness of supremacy that he described in Sutra number 21? It is desirelessness. That also, he says, is mild, middling and intense depending on the sanskaras or the habits of the previous lives. I've done another video explaining what exactly they mean by samskaras, so you can just check that out. It should be in the contemplations playlist. Okay, so he says it is speediest for those whose application is intense and consciousness of supremacy is keenly intense. Swami Satyananda says with the intensity of urge rising through the mild, medium and strong conditions, asampragnata samadhi can be achieved sooner. So these, as we have studied, mild, middle, strong. Now Swami Satyananda says that many aspirants tend to be very vigorous in the beginning, but their urge is weak, so they don't have promising results even if they practice for a long time. In the course of time, the interest fades away and they lose the courage and energy with which they started, and they may carry on without hope. These are the mild aspirants. Who are the medium or the middling aspirants? Are those who are earnest, but they are not yet ready to undertake the kind of sadhana that is required to achieve the goal. Adhimātra or intensity, he says, is rare, and if it is there, it makes an aspirant so intense on the goal that he does not rest until the goal is reached. These 3 aspirants, therefore these 3 kinds of aspirants, have different kinds of sadhanas depending on the intensity of their eagerness. And this is I feel an important point, especially in modern day yoga, when especially in Ashtanga, where we're constantly asking the teacher to progress us through the next asana. He says teachers judge the intensity and guide accordingly. A good student should not be asking for a higher sadhana. You need to work at whatever sadhana your guru gives you, because he is assessing what is your intensity, what is your sincerity, what is your earnestness, what is your eagerness. And he says in the beginning, higher or lower should not matter. The thing that matters is the eagerness, is the earnestness with which you do whatever sadhana is given to you. So it's an important point to note, especially for Ashtangis. Swami Vivekananda says they differ again according to the means as mild, medium or supreme, and he does not provide further explanation. BKS Iyengar actually goes into considerable detail. So he says that there are differences between those who are mild, average and keen in their practices. Sadhakas are of different levels of eagerness and intensity, and the goal is time bound depending on their level. However, the layer that he explains is that the mṛdu sadhaka's awareness is at vitarka, which is intellectual analysis at the external level, kind of what we are doing now. We're just having that intellectual curiosity, and vichara, it progresses to vichara prajna, which is subtle differentiating knowledge and mental alertness. Then the madhya sadhaka has ananda prajna, that is knowledge of bliss, and asmita prajna, which is knowledge of self. The Adhimātra sadhaka has Vasikara prajna, which is the subjugation of desire, and Virama pratyaya, which is the cessation of brain functions. Clearly none of us are Adhimātra sadhaka. So he gains Bhava pratyaya, that is mental quietness, and Upaya pratyaya, which is skillful means. Adhimātra Atman, that is the supremely intense, gains Paravairagya or supreme detachment. So the feeble, keen or feeble, average or keen yogi can be further subdivided to feeble, moderate or intensely keen. And the goal is near or far depending on the eagerness and efforts. And he says that Sutra 14 to 22 describe the 9 types of yogis in ascending intensity. Osho says the chances of success vary according to the degree of effort, and Barbara Stoller Miller explains this as higher than the cessation beyond distinctions of mild, moderate or extreme. Thank you for listening. Do hit subscribe, do share, do leave comments and questions, and I will see you tomorrow for Sutra number 23.